15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Round of 16 UCL Fantasy Part 2. Jason, we got to see a little bit more of the top teams play over this weekend. We got to see a little bit more of how the injuries are developing, and we've kind of come up with our near finalized teams. Jason, how pumped are you to see this Champions League start?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Some pretty good fixtures. Starts off tomorrow with Barca PSG. I think from a neutral standpoint, it's going to be probably the best fixture to watch for me. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that one, as well as just about every other fixture set this week and next week. Before we get into our kind of picks for our teams, just want to give a shout out to Fantasy Football Scout Academy, which we are a part of. You guys can check out their website. They do have UEFA Champions League content as well. You guys can check out. In addition, if you guys enjoy the video, likes, comments is really appreciated, as well as subscriptions. It's always great to see what you guys think of our team, so comments are very much welcomed. And if you want to see our lockdown finalized teams, which will probably be occurring sometime probably 2 to 3 hours before the start of the Champions League games, follow us on Twitter. The link is going to be in the description. All right, Jason, you ready to start this?
Yeah, I'd also say keep in mind that I will know the lineups before the matches start. So definitely keep your eyes peeled, that hour before the games begin. Make any last-second changes as you need to.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can pretty much change your team up to, the final minute, right?
Yep. Yeah, right before kickoff. I wouldn't advise, cutting it that close. But, yeah, wait until that last, hour before the matches start to really finalize anything or walk away.
Exactly, yeah. I'd say about 30. Give yourself about 30 minutes before the games just to be safe.
Yep.
Okay. Jason, tell me what you saw over the weekend.
Yeah, so since our last video, quite a bit's happened. Unfortunately, most of it's bad. Thomas Muller got COVID. He might be back for the first leg. It's going to be cutting it pretty close. I think for me, it's too risky to go for him. I mean, this is Champions League. We've only got, so many game weeks left. So I want players that are playing right now. So I think for me, I'm going to look elsewhere. But he'll definitely be back to the second leg unless something goes terribly wrong. So I think he'll be pretty good in no time. Unfortunately, his teammate, Serge Gnabry, is now out for a few weeks. So that kind of takes him out of our thinking for this round of 16. What that does do, though, is it kind of locks in Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané as almost for sure starters in at least the first leg for sure. Bayern did play today in a snow-filled pitch, which was kind of interesting to watch. I think it kind of confirmed that their defense is really not one to target for clean sheets, but offensively they're just going to score a lot of goals. Moving on, PSG, Neymar unfortunately got injured. He's going to be out for at least 4 weeks, I believe. So he'll definitely miss the first leg, and the second leg I think is pretty much a guarantee. Probably a slight chance he comes back, but either way I think he's out of our thinking for now. Liverpool, another tough match in the weekend against Leicester. Their form is just really bad right now. With so many options out there, it's tough for me to really recommend Liverpool assets. It sounds crazy to say that when they have guys like Mo Salah, but yeah, I'm just kind of off them right now. I'm not really sure what's going to happen in that fixture anymore. Borussia Dortmund on the weekend Defense is still not good, let in some goals against, I believe it was Hoffenheim. Holland and Sancho going forward are still looking pretty good. They've both been in pretty good form over the last month or two. So I think if you want to target Dortmund, go attacking wise. But Sevilla's attack against them probably is also a good call. Speaking of Sevilla, they now have 5 straight wins in La Liga. They rested some key players over the weekend with Jules Koundé and Yusuf and Nasiri getting a rest, both coming off the bench for a little run out at the end of the match. Lucas Ocampos is going to miss the Champions League match, unfortunately. But Papu Gomez has been integrated into the team, started at the weekend. He was definitely a creative spark for Sevilla. So I'm still pretty happy about their attacking potential, even with Lucas Ocampos out. So defensively, they're strong as well. They've had a lot of shutouts recently. I think they're definitely a team to target, even with them going up against Dortmund, both defensively and offensively right now. Plus, they just know how to win in Europe, too. I mean, usually it's the Europa League, but I think they're ready to kind of prove it in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on to Man City, another big win on the weekend. They look like potential Champions League favorites, possibly at this point, even with how strong their defense has been. One small note, those Ilkay Gundogan, a huge budget target right now with his form in EPL. Came off injured, looked like he was holding his groin. As of right now, we don't have any kind of update on him. So hopefully Pep Guardiola is going to give a conference tomorrow because they play on Wednesday in the Premier League. So we should get hopefully some kind of update to know if he's going to be healthy or not. So I can't really, make a recommendation either way on him right now. So just keep your eyes open for that, and hopefully we'll get good news on him. Moving on, Juventus had a little hiccup on the weekend to Napoli. They looked pretty good overall, I thought. Kind of surprised they weren't able to win that match. But I think, like I said, it's just a hiccup. I still back them in their fixture against Porto in the Champions League. Juan Cuadrado did come off injured in that match, and it looks like he's going to be out. So that kind of locks in Danilo and Alexandro as their likely starting fullbacks. So at least we have some clarity there as far as who's going to be starting.
Right.
Yeah, and then
obviously Messi.
Yeah, say Barcelona hitting form at the right time. Yeah, if you didn't watch the Barca match, I'd probably recommend watching the highlights just to see Messi in full swing. That was definitely a great match to watch. Especially with Neymar going out for PSG, I almost had to back Barca to win that fixture at this point. Whereas, a week ago, I was still pretty unsure about which way I was leaning. But, with Messi's magic he was producing, it's kind of hard to go against Barca when he looks like that.
Right, and I just have to, with the PSG, Neymar out, but also Angel Di Maria out as well. So those are two very key players for them.
Good call.
And then, I mean, Barca, they're extremely strong right now. I'm very heavy on La Liga when we move on to our teams. But anyways, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I back Barca's offense more than their defense at this point, though, for sure.
I mean, that's tradition, so...
Yeah.
It's not,
just had to clarify.
Yeah, Juventus, kind of unfortunate over the weekend. They had plenty... They definitely deserved at least a draw. It's nice that we have that clarity, specifically for one of my picks keys. I'll talk about it a little later. One more team I just want to mention would be Atletico. They continued some good form over the weekend. They got a win 2-1, so not a clean sheet, but we got to see some good goals from people not named Suarez, Correa and Lorente, sorry, on the scoring sheet. Trying to do too many things at once kind of made me a hiccup. Let's go on here. Just a quick reminder of the fixtures. Tomorrow is probably my favorite day when we have Barca and PSG, and then Leipzig and Liverpool.
Yep.
just kind of looking, and then obviously Wednesday we have Porto, Juventus, Sevilla, and Dortmund. Just going on these days alone, Jason, let's talk just a little bit about captaincies picks.
Yeah.
Who is your captain pick if you had for Tuesday's fixtures, if you could pick anyone?
Yeah, so let's just pretending I could pick anyone. I think the obvious pick right now has to be Messi. I think Mbappe wouldn't be a bad call either. Liverpool Leipzig's a little tougher to call. I think if you have Salah, it's kind of hard to go against him. On the Leipzig side, while I'm not sure who's going to win that match, it's hard to pick out many individuals on Leipzig. Maybe Angelino, but even that feels pretty risky going against the Liverpool attack. So I think for me, Messi is definitely the standout.
So I will say also with the Liverpool attack, though, the only person scoring in Liverpool, I think in the last 3 to 4 game weeks, has been Mo Salah. So I'm not as worried. And we are away, but it is a neutral stadium. I believe it's in Budapest.
Yeah, I think so.
So for this fixture, I think I'm gonna roll with. For this match Tuesday, I'm definitely rolling with Messi if I could pick anyone.
Yeah.
And then my dark horse would also be Angelino. Liverpool's terrible form continue. I don't see an end to it. Not in the Champions League, at least.
Right. Yeah, I'll just quickly remind everyone too. So since there's 4 different days matches are being played on in this round, you get 4 chances at captaincy potentially if you have someone playing each day. So just keep that in mind. Plenty of bites at the cherry in this round.
And if another kind of a differential pick would be Griezmann. I think Griezmann.
He's been hitting good form recently, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's connected with Messi a little bit more. He's up against Paris. There's a little bit of extra for him there. So
yep.
Those would be my picks. How about Wednesday, Jason? What do you see?
So a few good options here. I think kind of the big ones. Obviously, going to be Cristiano Ronaldo. Outside of that, with Dortmund, you could do either Haaland or Sancho. But my pick is going to be the dark horse, I think, of the day. And that's going to be Youssef En-Nesyri of Sevilla. He's in my team. I think I'm going to captain him for that day.
Very interesting.
So I'll put my money where my mouth is on that one.
I say go simple, go easy. No need to really overthink here. Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano in Portugal. I like this a lot. Against his former teammate Pepe. I see a lot of good positive signs there. So Cristiano would be my pick.
I mean, Cristiano is definitely the smart pick. I'll give you that. But sometimes in fantasy, when you have a gut feeling about it, I don't see Borussia Dortmund's defense being good at all. They can't defend set pieces. En-Nesyri is great in the air.
He's a beast.
I just have a feeling about this one. And one other thing I'll point out is if you do want to take a punt on a captain pick like I'm doing right here, better to do it in the early game so that way you have more options later on in case it doesn't work out. So for me, if En-Nesyri doesn't work out, I got, Lewandowski the next game week. And then after that, if that doesn't work out, I still have City or Atalanta players I can pick from. So plenty of chances for me if this doesn't work out. So just keep that in mind when you're thinking of your differentials and your punts.
Now, do you want to talk about these other games? Are you interested in, or do you want to wait a little bit in terms of...
Hey, let's go over them real quick. I mean...
All right.
Yeah, it's not like these teams have another Champions League game between now and then.
Atletico, Chelsea, Lazio, Bayern. Tell me what you like player-wise, captaincies.
Yeah, so Chelsea, I think this game might come too early for them to really they're not really gelling quite yet. They do look pretty good under Tuchel so far. I think they're a little more organized and I guess almost professional when they're seeing out a match like against Newcastle earlier today. But as far as fantasy goes, I don't see many standouts against Atletico Madrid. On the Atletico side, I think Suarez is an great pick for a captaincy in this match. In the Lazio-Bayern match, like I said, Bayern's defense is pretty leaky right now. I could definitely see Lazio scoring at least one goal in this match. In that regard, Chiro might be a good option, but I really think Bayern's going to win this fixture, obviously. So you have to waste some transfers in your Lazio players in the next round. So I don't know that I necessarily recommend them. But for Bayern, I mean, you have many captaincy options there. I think Lewandowski is the easy one, but I could just as easily go for like a Kingsley Coman, maybe a Leroy Sané as more of a punt, or even Joshua Kimmich.
Yeah. I think these pretty easy fixtures for me. I like Atletico heavily, and I like Suarez. His form's been excellent, and I think it'll just continue. Bayern, you got to go with Lewandowski. For the match day, this is a tough pick. Bayern is away, Atletico home. It's a toss-up between who would I want, Suarez or Lewandowski. And I think I'm actually going to have to make this decision. Right now, I'm going to lean Lewandowski. But I could definitely see myself swing towards Suarez as we come closer to this matchup. All right,
Okay.
final day, Real Madrid, Atalanta, Borussia Mönchengladbach, Manchester City. Jason, what are your thoughts?
I think City, a lot depends on the health of Gundogan. If we get news that he's going to be healthy and good to go, I think he's a great captaincy pick and definitely a shoe-in for my team. If we don't hear that, then it gets a little more crowded with City. You could go for like a Sterling or a Foden, but I'm just not 100% sold on them as captaincy options. In the Atalanta Madrid match, I think on the Madrid side, Karim Benzema would be the best option for a captain. Atalanta, I kind of like them as a potential dark horse in this match. So I think I'm looking at Ilicic as a pretty nice punt for a captaincy option that day. I know you don't want to probably get too punty that late on, but you also might be out of options at that point if Gundogan's not healthy, so you might have to do something like that.
Okay.
So probably the toughest captaincy day is going to be that last day as far as what your options are. Just not a whole lot of standouts or players I'm probably going to have in my team.
Yeah, I think by then most people will probably have their captain already set and kind of difficult to move away from them. If you are down in points with the captaincy pick that you had from earlier, Karim Benzema is an excellent choice. We saw Real Madrid really dominate Valencia this weekend. It was really great to see Modric and Toni Kroos really can dominate that midfield. Benzema had a nice screamer of a goal. This guy is a top 5 forward in the world. Don't ever forget about it. Manchester City, I like their team in general, but I don't know who to pick exactly. It's all about that Gundogan, what's his health like, and then what's Sterling's form like is going to be the questions. It's not a bad idea to kind of roll with a defender, and wouldn't be bad either. They have probably one of the best. You could argue they had the best defense in Europe right now. So
Yeah, I think the only reason I'd shy away from a defender is because Mönchengladbach have been so good attacking. Even though I expect Man City to prevail, I'm just scared that Mönchengladbach would get like one goal and just ruin the clean sheet, which kind of scares me off the defense. But yeah, like you said, I think City probably do have the best defense in Europe right now, just on current form.
one more thing I'll just say about Madrid is Kroos did have his knee looked pretty swollen at the end of the game. He had a pretty bad knock. I don't know what his health is going to be like, but I think he'll have plenty of time to recover with 24th of February. But they played. It was really nice to see those guys play so well.
Yeah, I'd also add in Casemiro also had a huge game in that one. So
Yeah, of
Madrid's
course.
entire midfield was on fire.
All right, now let's go on to our squads. This is not our set in stone squad. This is a near finalized squad for me. I like Karim Benzema a lot. I think his goal, he's the one that's scoring for Real Madrid in the Champions League. It's either him or Ramos, and Ramos is injured. And I don't think that's going to be a problem for Benzema. I don't think that's going to be a problem for Madrid. I like them against Atalanta, a team that's their form has been a little off. They're a little bit roller coaster ride for them this whole season.
Yeah.
Lewandowski is pretty much the gem of Europe right now. It's hard not to pick this guy on your team. Bayern have the best team in Europe. You're talking about the defending champions, and they're going against a Lazio team that hasn't been in this round of 16 since, who knows, early 2000, something like that.
Yeah. Since Crespo was on there, or Claudio Lopez.
Something. I don't see. I mean, Lazio is when you look at their first 11, it's a very nice team, but I mean, if anyone but Bayern, anyone but maybe the real top gems of Europe, I think I would doubt them, but against Bayern, it's kind of different.
Yeah, it's a bad draw.
In my midfield, I'm very confident in Coleman now that we have a little bit more consistency, and we know like he's gonna be one of the starters. I feel. Same with Casemiro. This guy is excellent for Real Madrid, and all the balls he wins. What's the points in the fantasy?
Balls recovered.
Balls recovered. He gets plenty of it.
Yeah, he provides a nice floor in that regard. He's always going to get some points.
Exactly. My kind of a wild card pick is Raheem Sterling. I kind of did this one because of Gundogan's injury. So I'm not set on stone on Sterling yet. If Gundogan's healthy, I might go him and then get Marcus Llorente from Atletico Madrid. He scored again last weekend. We've seen him more in this whole season. He's played a more of an advanced role in the midfield. So I definitely like him as a player, and he just barely missed my team here. De Ligt and Juventus, they have incredible defense. He's definitely going to be on my 11. For me, the best central back in Europe. Koundé.
Are you worried about him recovering from COVID right now, or do you think he's fully back?
Oh, I saw him play over the weekend. He's fully back.
Okay.
He looks strong, yeah. Just kind of then, I just want to transition to, I missed one of my midfielders on my bench, Federico Chiesa. This guy is going to be my differential pick. He's on corners for Juventus, corners for Cristiano Ronaldo's head. This guy is, he started over the weekend on the left, and I didn't like him when he was on the left. But now we know, like, likely Alexandro will be starting as that left back position. They did it because Bernardeschi started on the right. I don't think Bernardeschi is going to be a Champions League starter for Juventus. I think Chiesa will go back to that right wing spot, especially when Cuadrado is injured. They need that width on the right, and I think Chiesa will do an excellent job there. I wish Cuadrado would have been healthy, though, because it's nice to see when Chiesa is on the right with Cuadrado, he drifts a little bit more to the center and he gets plenty of shots on target. Now he might be used a little bit more just for width on that field. But either way, he plays an impactful role for Juventus, and I definitely like them against Porto. I will say overall, though, it's a differential because Juventus is not a team that you would consider for goals. This is a defense-heavy team, but they're just something. Sometimes you just have to go with your instinct, like Jason was kind of saying earlier, and that's my instinct. All right, moving back to the defense. Speaking of that, my big shot call would probably be Leipzig over Liverpool is on the cards. It's definitely a real possibility. It's going to be a close match, and I like Angelino, just a fantasy dream. You look at his positioning, you look at where he plays on the pitch, how advanced he goes. Excellent player. Kimmich, I'm still rolling. I mean, Jason kind of pointed him out last week. I saw Alphonso Davies start. I believe he scored a goal too, right?
Yeah, hit a nice shot today. Yeah, a rocket for sure.
Yeah, it's either going to be him or Kimmich is who I'm going to roll with. It just depends on how risky I want to be. Moving to like keepers, I think this is probably my favorite combination. You're looking at if you're gonna ask like who's the best two defensive teams. I mean, other than maybe you could just count Man City too. I'm not gonna say Man City's a bad defense. I already just said they're probably the best defense in Europe. But who's like traditionally has the best defense? Atletico and Juventus. You can't go wrong. And then Savic at that price, forget about it. And then Suarez, oh yeah, this guy is on form.
Yeah, and Thiago Silva's probably going to be out for Chelsea as well. I don't think it's guaranteed at this point, but it sounds like he'll not be able to recover for the first leg at least.
Okay, Silva. I mean, the whole Chelsea defense has kind of they haven't been great this season, but I know they have a new manager now, Tuchel, and now he's new formation. So I don't know what to say about Chelsea, other than it's just like a project.
Yep.
Okay, Jason, you want to move on to your team?
Yeah, before we move on, I think overall you have a nice team. I like it. Are there any players you're kind of sad you're missing out on right now? Like who's on your bubble, like that you want to get them, but you just can't fit in right now?
Manchester City defense is always nice. I have them in FPL, but Atletico's prices are just so nice.
Yep, can't deny that.
Lorente, Atletico. I'm big La Liga in general. I like all the La Liga teams in this 16. Barca, Real. Yeah, they're all gonna advance for me. So I'm heavy La Liga with a hint of Bayern. That's gonna be my game plan here.
Fair enough.
So Lorente and then Man City defense is who I would shout out.
Okay.
Oh, and then obviously, actually, I forgot to mention Messi too. I can't. It's kind of.
Oh, you forgot Messi?
I can't. I don't know what to say. Maybe Messi. Yeah. He's gonna be one of the ones I'm gonna be really thinking about too. I might make a move with Sterling, and increase like. I don't want to get rid of Benzema or Suarez either. So I don't know. So Messi.
Can't take them all.
And obviously, I can't say Cristiano too. Obviously.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to your team, Jason.
All right. So here's my team. Start the forward line. Lewandowski's kind of a no-brainer. I think Cristiano kind of is as well. My wild card I mentioned earlier, Youssef and Nasiri. Part of this is due to like just his form and Sevilla's form right now, but also the form of his opponent in Borussia Dortmund. They've had one of the worst defenses of any team left in the Champions League. So that's playing a huge part of my thought process there. And like I said, I am going to do a differential captain on En-Nesyri in that week, unless I get some like news between now and then that would force me to change my mind. But I think that's got the potential to get me a huge rank boost or a potential to get me a huge rank decline. So we'll see how that works out. But I'll move on to my midfield next. So I think you kind of sold me on Chiesa, actually. I think in my last draft I had Weston McKennie, but after you mentioned Chiesa, I looked up some stats in Serie A, looking at Juve's midfielders. And I have to say I was very impressed with Chiesa. He topped Juve's midfielders in almost every meaningful stat. Shots on target, chances created, crosses, just straight up goals and assists. You said he's on corners as well. I just couldn't find a reason not to have him in my team. So for me, another one of my strategies as well is just loading up with my premium options on teams I am fairly confident are going to go through to the next round to kind of save my transfers. So you'll notice I stocked up a lot on Juventus, Man City, and Bayern. those are a lot of my premium picks for this round, just because I have a lot of faith in those teams to go through. Also, I have Casemiro in midfield. We mentioned him earlier. His balls recovered stats are always going to keep his floor very high. And he just always seems to pop up with a very important goal or assist for Madrid whenever needed. So I don't have a stat to back that up. It's just, gut feeling and just from watching him. It just always seems to happen whenever I'm watching. Kingsley Coman, he came in for Thomas Muller for me after Muller got COVID. I think he's pretty much locked into a starting spot, and he has had great form in the Champions League group rounds. 9 assists in the Bundesliga, so he's number 2 overall in that. My other midfielders, Gundogan's in my team for now. Hopefully we get good news on him and I can keep him. Otherwise, I'll have some reconfiguring to do. Ilicic is kind of my punt against Real Madrid. I'm not high on Madrid's defense right now, with Ramos being out, and Dani Carvajal also got injured on the weekend, so he's probably out as well. So I think Ilicic could provide some pretty sneaky points in this match. I'm still not decided who's actually going to go through between Madrid and Atalanta. I think it's going to be pretty close. But I think Ilicic at least has some pretty strong points potential. Defense, Savic, Atletico Madrid at 4.6 is kind of a no-brainer, like you said. It's a great price. Same with Jules Koundé at 3.9. BVB, Dortmund do have a pretty great attack. So I'm not, expecting huge things from him. But Sevilla have had a pretty compact defense recently. He's one of the best young center backs in Europe. So at 3.9, it's hard not to have him in my team, at least as an enabler with potential for more. City defense, Joao Cancelo is the most attacking of them, so that's why he's in my team. Offers both goal and assist potential in addition to City's world-class defense. Joshua Kimmich, playing out of position at Bayern Munich as a midfielder. He offers goal and assist potential. I don't love Bayern's clean sheet potential quite as much, just because they are pretty leaky at the back, but the fact that he can possibly get those points is just kind of a bonus to everything else he provides. Last defender is Christian Romero of Atalanta. I'm probably not expecting a clean sheet out of him, but his balls recovered stat is the best in the game in the group rounds. And every now and then he'll pop up with a goal or an assist as well. So for me, it's more about the floor there with the balls recovered. And he's pretty affordable. I think he's only 5.1, so it's not too bad. But goalkeepers, like you said, take the players from the great teams who are probably going to go through and have solid defenses. So for me, Chesney and Ederson represent a pretty good duo. And there's the outside chance that Ederson is on penalties. We still don't quite know who's going to take them for City. I think over the weekend, I don't know if you're watching the match, but Ederson was running up when they got the penalty trying to stake a claim for it. But Rodri ruled him out and took it, but then it was a pretty weak PK. Pep said Rodri's not taking them going forward, and then he has not revealed who will be yet. So I still have my hope for that one.
This PK drama in Man City is quite entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty funny to watch.
I think one great player here is Christian Romero. He was such an impact in the group stages. Definitely someone everyone should if they're like Jason and they think it's a toss-up game, I'd have Romero on my team. With the balls recovered, he wins.
Yep. Yeah. What are your thoughts on my team? Any strengths, weaknesses that you see?
Overall, yeah, I like your whole, go with the teams that you think are going to go through. So you're going heavy on Bayern, Juventus, and Manchester City, you could see too. I actually want to hear from you first. Who do you wish you had on your team?
So starting with forwards, I think Lionel Messi is obviously a huge one I don't have. I'm just not decided on who's going to win that fixture, so investing that much in a player as kind of a toss-up fixture, I'm just kind of not comfortable with. Luis Suarez, I really wanted in my team, but it just didn't quite work out with my budget and my obsession with getting En-Nesyri in my team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So those are probably the two big forwards I think I'm missing out on. Midfield, man, it kind of stings not having a guy like a Mo Salah in here. But I think for the most part with my midfield, it's a little more almost punty with like Illich and Chiesa. And then I have Casemiro is more like balls recovered.
Yeah.
I really wanted Thomas Muller in my midfield, but unfortunately he's out. So I feel pretty good about Coman overall. But I'm just really hoping Gundogan plays, because if he doesn't, I'm not really sure what my next move would be after that. Because I have 0 in the bank right now, so I'd probably have to go for a cheaper option and kind of go the balls recovered route for that as well.
Yeah,
Defense, I wanted Angelino in my defense, but I'm just not sure who I would drop for him at this point.
yeah, I think that's a player that you should probably have, in my opinion. I'd get rid of Cancelo. That's just my.
Think so?
That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean, I could get rid of Cancelo to go to Angelino. It wouldn't be a terrible move, because I already have Ederson as my City defensive cover. So that actually is an option, but I'm not quite certain on Leipzig and Liverpool who's going to win that fixture. So, like I said, I was more taking a safe route, stocking up with 3 City, 3 Juventus, and 3 Bayern. That's kind of my safe route for this one.
Mönchengladbach have the firepower. I'll just say that too.
Oh, they definitely do. Yeah, that's why I took City's most attacking defender. I'm hoping for attack in return.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not so high as you are with Man City defense, but I would like to have at one asset.
You have to have at least one, I think.
Yeah. I currently have 0. Let me see my team. Let me see who else. No Juventus defense, Jason.
Chesney in net.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, with Juve's defense, I was kind of nervous about rotation possibly.
I think it's set in stone.
Who's going to partner De Ligt? Is it going to be Bonucci or Chiellini? You think? Chiellini. That's kind of what I was thinking as well.
They haven't played as much together, but they're just you can tell that they're the 2 best center backs on the team, basically.
Yeah, so we're thinking Chiellini, De Ligt at center backs, and then Danilo and Sandro as the fullbacks.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think Sandro is a for sure starter when Juventus play their best 11. He offers them some good width on the left. You kind of saw them make Chiesa play on the left last weekend because they played Bernardeschi, and I just don't think it worked out as well. And I think Pirlo recognized that and made the change in halftime, and yeah. Okay, I think that pretty much is gonna wrap it up for this episode. A fairly decent chunk episode. If you guys enjoyed the content, give us a like, subscription, follow us on Twitter. Link is gonna be in the description. Jason, any closing words?
Yeah, I'll always kind of remind everyone, keep your eye out tomorrow for Pep's press conference. Look for the lineups before the game starts. Make sure your guys you have are good to go. We'll be posting our final teams on Twitter and maybe on the YouTube comments as well, just so we're not catching anyone by surprise or anything like that. So yeah, just keep your eyes open. We'll be paying a lot of attention right up to the deadline. So with that said, yeah, good luck. Make some puns like we're doing, but also, take some safe options as well.
Exactly. You got to go with some of your instinct plays, and you got to go with the smart plays and safe plays too.
Yep.
Differentials. Take care, guys. See you.
All right, see ya.